Go ahead, speak.
Many blessings upon you, my loyal servant. In my wisdom I have sent you to activate the Karstangspacharn. Tell me you have accomplished this task for your goddess. Well done, mortal. This is the effect I was looking for. Ash storms in Mournhold. My magic will prevent anyone from further tampering with this machine. You will, of course, keep silent about this. My powers are a bit drained, mortal. They are not gone. My ordinators will take care of the remains of this end-of-times cult and their leader. You have done well. Yes, the Karstangspacharn is creating the weather just as I had hoped, and it will remain this way until I'm satisfied these people have learned a lesson. It will remain active until I decide otherwise. The ash storms will continue in Mournhold until I feel that these people have grown to appreciate all I do for them. I am well pleased, good and faithful servant. My people look upon the elements and see there written a divine testament to my lordship. Did ever any other god display such dominion over the earth and sky? But now, with a heavy heart, I must lay a sad burden upon you. I bid you bring the peace of understanding to my missing hand. One of my most faithful guards, one of my very own hands of Almalexia, pledged to honor and protect and serve me in all ways, has lost his mind. Salas Valor has abandoned me, and now spews vile and slanderous untruths about me to any who would listen. I pity him, and know he is not responsible for his actions. To view the splendor of a god may drive even the strongest mortal mad. But now he presents a threat to us, and he is very dangerous. I fear you may not be able to spare his life. Now Salas Valor haunts the streets and sewers of Mournhold. His wild, distracted manner frightens the people, but even my ordinators are afraid to confront so terrible a weapon master and war wizard. I beg you, seek out Salas Valor. Relieve us of this threat to my beloved people and bring peace to my sacred city of Mournhold. Salas Valor was once my most trusted hand and faithful servant, but recently his behavior has been erratic. He has been quiet and unresponsive. I'm afraid I may have allowed the hands of Almalexia are my personal guard, pledged to honor and protect and serve me in all ways. Their bodies and souls are buttressed by my divine favor. Their armor and weapons are imbued with glory by my touch. On the face of Tamriel, there are no more terrible warriors than my hands of Almalexia. Have you eliminated the threat of my poor? When you have removed the threat, Salas...
Hello, what can I do for you? Almalexia, Our Lady of Mercy, dwells in her temple. Her steward, Fedris Hlair, and the Lord Archcanon, Gavus Drin, also reside. Good to see you again, friend. I was just doing a little writing.
If a few words can help. I clean this temple. Mind you keep it that way.
Almalexia knows and sees. Trust in gods and justice.
Health and... Hello. Interested in the rumors circulating around the city? I can say that I consider them to be exaggerations of the truth. Several people have fallen ill lately, to be sure, but it is hardly the epidemic people are making it out to be. As long as you're here, however, perhaps I could ask a small favor of you. Yes. Well, it's not much, really. A simple delivery that needs to be made, actually. Jayon Aulin reported being ill earlier this week, yet refuses to come to the temple for healing. Some nonsense about a collection of his. At any rate, if he will not come to us, then we must take the initiative and go to him. Will you deliver this cure disease potion to him? Yes. I know it's a menial task, most likely beneath someone of your stature. I'd take it myself, but I need to stay here in case anyone else arrives needing assistance. I do appreciate it. Just let me know when you've delivered it. His house is in God's Reach. He rarely leaves it, from what I understand. What's your rank? No, sorry, later perhaps. What's your rank? No, sorry, later perhaps, when you're higher rank, but not now. Health and healing are my specialties.
Yes, I'm afraid that I have nothing for you. You will need to speak with the Lady Almalexia if you have further questions. Your talents are noteworthy, but some question your depth of devotion. Perform more duties. Before I give you any other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimages of the most pious members of the temple make. You have been given a copy of the Pilgrim's Path. Simply follow the directions in that book. Almalexia knows and sees. I'm afraid that I have nothing for you. You will need to speak with the most blessed Lady Almalexia. Your talents are noteworthy, but before I give you any other duty, you have been given a copy of the Pilgrim's Path. Simply follow the directions in that book to each shrine. When you have visited all these shrines are three-sided trioliths where prayer and offerings are made for healing and blessings.
If a few words can help,
You'll regret
I'd be
it.
happy to talk.
What is it you need? I have no more jobs for you, but the Lady Almalexia has informed me that you may report to her directly.
Whatever you want, within reason.
Take care, stranger. My greetings and blessings upon you. I am Ino Ramari. How may I help you in your journey through this life? The Daedra princes are not our ancestors, nor are they our allies. They will wash over the land, destroying all that man and Mer have built over these thousands of years. The only protection from this scourge will be our true ancestors that have gone before us and watch over us even now. Many of our followers choose to participate in the cleansing, to prepare the way for the rest of us. It is a sacrifice to be sure, but it is for the greater good.
Speak the truth, and all shall.
Hello, I am Gian Olin, collector of fine artifacts. Yes, that's me. Are you here to deliver the potion? Thank you so much. I'll be able to return to my work in full health. Give my regards to Nareel, would you? Yes, I have amassed quite a collection of rare items, some of which you see displayed here. I'm currently working on the last piece of a set, a very rare Droth dagger. It's been a challenge to track one down, to say the least. It's one of several made by artisans during the Second Age. They were crafted for a group of Dunmer nobles, each bearing a mark of the owner. Of course, it takes a trained eye to distinguish one from a normal dagger. I've acquired all but the Droth dagger, and have recently been made aware that the widow Arnsa Thendas is in possession of one. Would you be willing to help me retrieve it? Excellent. Here's what I can tell you. Arnsa Thendas has recently been widowed. Her husband Sandus was a local nobleman, but amassed quite a bit of debt during his waning years. His death has left the widow with quite a financial burden. As such, she may be willing to part with the dagger for money. If you can find another way to get it from her, by all means take advantage of it. I will compensate you adequately, I promise you. Perhaps you'll have better luck dealing with her than I have up to this point. You can find her in Thendas Manor in the residential district. I'd ask that you please try and get to her before this estate sale of hers. She's auctioning off some of her late husband's effects, from what I understand. I worry that the Droth dagger may be included in the auction, and I might lose track of it. I won't be allowed at the auction. Yes, thank you for helping me. It's a silly story, really. I'd been down in the sewers. Why? Well, I'd gotten a tip that a rare and valuable item might be down there. What can I do for you, friend?
With his god destroyed, Wulfharth finds it hard to keep his form. He staggers out of Red Mountain to the battlefield beyond. The world has shaken, and all of Morrowind is made of fire. A strong gale picks up and blows his ashes back to Skyrim. Wulfharth adopts and is adopted by the Nords then. Ysmir, the grey wind, the storm of Kine. But through Lorcan he lost his national identity. All he wants the Nords for is to kill the tribunal. He raises a storm, sends in his people, and is driven back by tribunal forces. The Dunmer are too strong now. Wulfharth goes underground to wait and strengthen and reform his body anew. Oddly enough, it is Almalexia who disturbs his rest, summoning the Underking to fight alongside the tribunal against Adasum Dir Kamal, the Akaviri demon. Wulfharth disappears after Adasum is defeated and does not return for 300 years. It is the rumbling of the greybeards that wake him. Though the empire has crumbled, there are rumours that a chosen one will come to restore it. This new emperor will defeat the elves and rule a united Tamriel. Naturally, Wulfharth thinks he is the figure of prophecy. He goes directly to High Hrothgar to hear the greybeards speak. When they do, Ysmir is blasted to ash again. He is not the chosen one. It is a warrior youth from High Rock. As the grey wind goes to find this boy, he hears the greybeard's warning. Remember the colour of betrayal, King Wulfharth. The Western Reach was at war. Cuchulainn, the king of Falkreath in West Cyrodiil, was in a bad situation. To make any bid at unifying the Colovian estates, he needed to secure his northern border, where the Nords and Reachmen had been fighting for centuries. He allies with Skyrim at the Battle of Old Hroldan. Leading his forces was Hjalti Earlybeard. Hjalti was from the island kingdom of Alcair in High Rock, and would become Tiber Septim, the first emperor of Tamriel. Hjalti was a shrewd tactician, and his small band of Colovian troops and Nord berserkers broke the Reachman line, forcing them back beyond the gates of Old Hroldan. A siege seemed impossible, as Hjalti could expect no reinforcements from Falkreath. That night, a storm came and visited Hjalti's camp. It spoke with him in his tent. At dawn, Hjalti went up to the gates, and the storm followed just above his head. Arrows could not penetrate the winds around him. He shouted down the walls of Old Hroldan, and his men poured in. After their victory, the Nords called Hjalti Talos, or Stormcrown. Cuchulainn, with his new invincible general, unifies West Cyrodiil in under a year. No one can stand before Hjalti's storms. The Underking knows that if Hjalti is to become Emperor of Tamriel, he must first capture the eastern heartland. Hjalti uses them both. He needs Cuchulainn in the Colovian estates, where foreigners are mistrusted. It is obvious why he needs Ysmir. They march on the east, the battle mages surrender before their armies, and they take the citadel. Before Cuchulainn can be crowned, Hjalti secretly murders him and his loyalist contingent. These assassinations are blamed on the enemies of Cuchulainn, which, for political reasons, are still the Western Reach. Zurin Arctus, the Grand Battle Mage, not the Underking, then crowns Hjalti as Tiber Septim, new emperor of all Cyrodiil. After he captures the imperial throne, Septim finds the initial administration of a fully united Cyrodiil a time-consuming task. He sends the Underking to deal with imperial expansion into Skyrim and High Rock. Ysmir, mindful that it might seem as if Tiber Septim is in two places at once, works behind the scenes. This period of level-headed statesmanship and diplomacy, this sudden silence, heretofore unknown in the roaring tales of Talosian conquest, are explained away later. The assassination story is embroidered. Now it is popularly Talos's own throat that was cut. The human kingdoms are conquered, even Hammerfell, whose capture was figured to be an arduous task. The Underking wants a complete invasion, a chance to battle their foreign wind spirits himself, but Tiber Septim refutes him. He has already made a better plan, one that will seem to legitimize his rule. Cyrodiil supports the losing side of a civil war and are invited in. Finally, the Empire can turn its eyes onto the elves. The Underking continues to press on Tiber Septim the need to conquer Morrowind. The Emperor is not sure that it is a wise idea. He has heard of the Tribunal's power. The Underking wants his vengeance and reminds Tiber Septim that he is fated to conquer the elves, even the Tribunal. Arctus advises against the move, but Septim covets the ebony in Morrowind, as he sorely needs a source of capital to rebuild Cyrodiil after 400 years of war. The Underking tells him that, with the tribunal dead, Septim might steal the tribunal's power and use it against the High Elves, certainly the oldest enemies of Lorkhan, predating even the tribunal. Somerset Isle is the farthest thing from Tiber Septim's mind. Even then, he was planning to send Zurin Arctus to the King of Alinor to make peace. The ebony need wins out in the end. The Empire invades Morrowind, and the tribunal give up. When certain conditions of the armistice include not only a policy of non-interference with the tribunal, but also, in the Underking's eyes, a validation of their religious beliefs, Izmir is furious. He abandons the Empire completely. This was the betrayal the Greybeards spoke of, or so he thinks. Without the Underking's power, all ideas of conquering Tamriel vanish. Would have been nice, Septim thinks, but let's just worry about Cyrodiil and the human nations. Already there is a rebellion in Hammerfell. Pieces of Numidium trickle in, though. Tiber Septim, always fascinated by the dwarves, has Zurin Arctus research this grand artifact. In doing so, Arctus stumbles upon some of the stories of the war at Red Mountain. He discovers the reason the Numidium was made and some of its potential. Most importantly, he learns the Underking's place in the war. But Zurin Arctus was working from incomplete plans. He thinks it is the heart of Lorkhan's body that is needed to power the Numidium. While Zurin Arctus is raving about his discovery, the prophecy finally becomes clear to Tiber Septim. This Numidium is what he needs to conquer the world. It is his destiny to have it. He contacts the Underking and says he was right all along. They should kill the tribunal, and they need to get together and make a plan. While the Underking was away, he realized the true danger of Dagoth-Ur. Something must be done. But he needs an army, and his old one is available again. The trap is set. The Underking arrives and is ambushed by Imperial guards. As he takes them on, Zurin Arctus uses a soul gem on him. With his last breath, the Underking's heart roars a hole through the battle mage's chest. In the end, everyone is dead. The Underking has reverted to ash, and Tiber Septim strolls in to take the soul gem. When the Elder Council arrives, he tells them about the second attempt on his life, this time by his trusted battle mage, Zurin Arctus, who was attempting a coup. He has the dead guards celebrated as heroes, even the one who was blasted to ash. He warns Cyrodiil about the dangers within, but says he has a solution to the dangers without, the Mantella. The Numidium, while not the god Tiber Septim and the Dwemer hoped for, the Underking was not exactly Lorkhan after all. It does the job. After its work on Somerset Isle, a new threat appears. A rotting undead wizard who controls the skies. He blows the Numidium apart, but it pounds him into the ground with its last flailings, leaving only a black splotch. The Mantella falls into the sea, seemingly forever. Meanwhile, Tiber Septim crowns himself the first emperor of Tamriel. He lives until he is 108, the richest man in history. All aspects of his early reign are rewritten. Still, there are conflicting reports of what really happened, and this is why there is such confusion over such questions as, why does Alcair claim to be the birthplace of Talos, while other sources say he came from Atmora? Why does Tiber Septim seem to be a different person after his first roaring conquests? Why does Tiber Septim betray his battle mage? Is the Mantella the heart of the battle mage, or is it the heart of Tiber Septim? Tiber Septim is succeeded by his grandson, Pelagius Septim. Pelagius is just not of the same caliber. In truth, he's a little nervous with all these provinces. Then an advisor shows up. "I was friends with your grandfather," the Underking says. "He sent me to help you run the Empire."
Yes, is this about the estate sale? I'm not quite ready for it yet, you see. Yes. Are you looking for a particular item? Did you know my husband by any chance? Were you an acquaintance of my husband's? I'm afraid Sandus never spoke of you, and he talked quite a bit about his time in the Legion. Well, if you're truly here to pay your respects, then I thank you. Otherwise, I really must be getting back to taking care of his personal effects. It's okay, really, I didn't mean it. A Droth dagger? Well, that's quite a coincidence. My husband did in fact own one. A rare item, I've learned. I honestly have no idea where he got it, and I frankly don't like the look of the thing. You seem like a good sort, so I'll make you a deal. I'd like to get rid of it, so I'll part with it for, say, 600 gold. Very well, then. I'm glad to be rid of it. Be on the lookout for John Aulin, though. He's a nasty little man who's been after it for some time now. I ended up refusing to sell it to him out of spite.
Ah, welcome. What is it, friend? Have you acquired the Droth dagger? Well, have you managed to acquire the dagger? Well, let me know when you have it. Have you acquired the Droth dagger? Have you acquired the Droth dagger? Well, have you managed to... Fantastic. I don't need to know the details of how you got it. In fact, I'd rather not know. Here is your payment. I think you'll find it's a bit more than the dagger is actually worth. I do appreciate what you've done for me. Well, I wish her all the best with it, and with everything else. Long life, good health, whatever. Well, now that I have the full collection of daggers, I may contact the Mournhold Artifact Museum. They're all so wonderful, aren't they?
Honor is food and... I can't believe these ash storms. I've heard of them on the island, but not here in Mournhold. How can this be? You're looking for one of the Hands of Almalexia? That's interesting. One of the Hands of Almalexia is wandering around God's Reach, muttering and acting strange.
7 virtues, Sarah.
Scramfla. You've no business being here, Outlander. I suggest you turn around, go out the way you... I take your point. I hope we can work something out. I don't know anything about who might have sent those people after you. If you're looking for help, try talk... Well, Dovor is in charge. You'd better talk to him.
All right, we can talk. if you think it's safe.
You've no business being here, Outlet. I don't recall inviting you to discuss the issue. You can't be trusted. Keep walking.
I can't believe these ash storms. I've heard of them on the island, but no. You're looking for one of the hands of Almalexia? That's interesting. One of the hands of Almalexia. Who do you think you are?
So, you're her new dog. So, you're her new dog.
So, she has sent you for me. Now you are her favorite. How convenient. Whichever of us dies, she will be well pleased. And if both of us die, so much the better. Well, I am content. Perhaps this is how it was meant to end. I ask the forgiveness of all the gods and spirits, whoever they may be. And you too might make your peace with your gods, because at least one of us will not live to see another sunset.
Many blessings upon you, my loyal servant. Have you eliminated the threat of my poor, mad, missing hand and brought peace to Mournhold? Salas Valor is dead. The pain is almost more than I can bear, but you have served me faithfully, and it is in my mind to grant you a divine blessing. Would you like skin as tough as iron? Would you like my protection against paralyzing terror? Or would you wish to always bask in warm comfort of my reflected glory? Quick now, choose! You must not keep your deity waiting. I bless you with my gift, and mark you as my own. Be ever faithful in your service, and you may expect more generous rewards. Welcome, Nerevarine. It is time we talked of greater things. I have watched you since your arrival in Vvardenfell, and you have been a strong and faithful servant to me. None but the Nerevarine could have succeeded as you have. How long I have waited for this. My Nerevar returned to me at last. I have watched from my temple as others have made the claim, and I have seen them fall. I believe now that you are the one who was prophesied. I believe you now to be the Nerevarine. Though I have watched others come and go, my belief is that you are the child of prophecy. The time has come for you to reclaim your station. Together we can unite Morrowind once again, free from the Imperial yoke. For years, the Kezyma and the Dwemer had been at war. The Dwemer spurned the Daedra that the Kezyma worshipped, instead placing their faith in their metal creations. It was only when the Nords invaded Resdain that the two nations were able to join as one under the leadership of our Nerevar and the Dwarf King Dumak. In time, the two generals became blood friends, and on the day that Nerevar and I were wed, Dumak presented us with twin blades, Hope's Fire and True Flame. Each was a magnificent blade, the pinnacle of Dwemer craftsmanship. Their blades burned with an unearthly fire, and the sight of them struck fear into our enemies. My blade has been kept safe, but not so True Flame, the blade of Nerevar. It was lost at the Battle of Red Mountain. The blade of Nerevar. In the battle beneath Red Mountain, True Flame was shattered, the flame extinguished, and in the confusion the pieces lost. It is time for you, Nerevarine, to remake the blade and take your place by my side once again. I have only one, which I now give to you. Through my magic, I have been able to determine that the other pieces of the blade are nearby. Find the other two pieces of the blade and forge the blade anew. Only you may accomplish this, Nerevarine. As I said, they are nearby. Look to those in the city that you know and trust for guidance. Find those who would have use for items such as this. Prove your mettle to me, Nerevarine, and soon we will stand together once again. The best weaponsmiths in all of Tamriel reside in my city. When you have recovered the pieces of the blade, seek out the finest among these craftsmen and press him into our service. You'll find a number of them in my fair city. It was these artisans who built this city from ruins under my guidance. This glorious temple was erected by men and mer of stout heart and strong faith. If any in this land can forge that blade, they'll be found in my city. Merrilyn Othan's brother. He was found dead. This temple is clean as Almalexia's conscience, Sarah. And mind you, keep it that way. There are many in the city. If it's weaponsmithing you're interested in, try Yagak Gro Gluck at the Craftsman's Hall.
Need custom armor?
There is
I'm the
much
one
to
you
do.
want.
What do you want? I'm here to make weapons, not to chat. I'd rather not fight. Why do you... It's okay, really. I didn't mean it. You're looking for someone to make a blade. I can make anything. Tell me what you need and I can forge the blade. I'm that good. You betcha. I can make any blade you want. Don't care whose it was to start with, or who this Nerevar is. Bring me the pieces, and I'll put it together better than it was before. To work with that kind of material, I'll work for free, but I'll need the pieces first. Now go away.
Go ahead. Speak. I'm listening. We are not glad to see you.
Yes. I thought you were sent to learn more about the attacks. I also told you to stay away from the royal palace until you had learned all. Get lost. It's a I suppose we can. Can't we? I don't think so, and your pushing me isn't going. When you know more, come talk to me. For now, visit the goddess. There are more interesting things to speak of. There are many in the city. If it's weaponsmithing you're interested in, try Yagak Gro Gluck at the Craftsman's Hall. He's a sharp one. As I've said, they relate to the recent events in the city. We've discussed this enough. You know what you must do. When you know more, come talk to me. For now, visit the goddess.
What may Kara do for you, mighty one? When I was a child, my father gave me this weapon. He told me that as long as I had it, none would defeat me in battle, until the rightful owner came to claim it from me. I know now that you are the one of whom he spoke. I give it to you freely. May it serve you as well as it has served me. Good luck in your quest, my friend. When it is done, the blade will serve you well. What may Kara do for you, mighty one? Good luck in your quest, my friend.
Talk all you want.
His Majesty
Doesn't
commands.
bother me.
Ash storms here in the city. How can this happen? This isn't Vvardenfell. Something must be done quickly. There are many in the city.
I can't believe these ash storms.
Justice never sleeps. I'm listening.
Ah, yes. What is it? Yes? Do you seek transport to Vvardenfell?
Hello, what can I do for you? An attempt to reforge the blade of Nerevar. Interesting. I wish I knew where to tell you to look, but my knowledge of the blade is somewhat limited. Perhaps you'd do better speaking with Tarasa Aram, the curator at the museum. Her knowledge is extensive when it comes to unique items. Of course, it is always wise to consult the Lady Berenzia. One never knows what the lady has heard.
Good to see you again, friend. I was just doing a little writing.
Welcome back to the museum. Are you here to look, or did you wish to sell something? The pieces of the Blade of Nerevar here in Mournhold? Now there's something I'd like to get my hands on for the museum. I can't say that I have seen any that I know of, but I do have one piece from roughly the same time, and it seems to be of Dwemer construction. I don't even have it on display because I haven't been able to positively identify it yet. It's a shield of Dwemer make, but not traditional in any sense of the word. The pieces of it just don't seem to match, and I've wondered if it isn't some sort of a fake. I suppose I might be able to part with it, but I'll need some compensation. I'm always looking for new pieces for the Museum of Artifacts. Unique items, armor, and weapons of lore. You know the stuff. If you would be willing to donate a couple to the museum, I'd be willing to part with the shield. The museum is always interested in expanding its collection. Do you wish to sell something? I must advise you, however, that all transactions are final. This is not a pawn shop. You may not come back and reclaim artifacts when you feel like it. I can tell you that the museum is prepared to offer 50% of the... The museum is interested in purchasing unique artifacts from all over Morrowind. If you have anything we might have an interest in, we can discuss the specifics. I can tell you up front that the museum is willing to... The museum is interested in purchasing... Yes, thank you for allowing us to add it to our collection. Rumor has it the god of justice himself wielded this hammer. I am inclined to believe it, as none less than a god could ever hope to raise the thing. The ceremonial dagger of General Symmachus? How did you come to possess this? What a local treasure. If you're willing to part with it, I can offer you 10,000 gold for it. Thank you. I understand that you found this thing of legend and brought it to the goddess. Bring me a couple quality pieces and I'll be able to help you, friend. The museum is always interested in expanding its collection. Do you... Yes, it is a wonderful addition to our collection. Thank you again. I don't even have it on display because I haven't been able to posit... Welcome to the Mournhold Museum of
If
Artifacts.
a few words can help, I'd be happy to talk.
Justice never sleeps.
Welcome to the Mournhold.